Hello, I want to do a video really exposing two federal judges here in Cincinnati. And these are issues where these judges are lying. So their names are Timothy S. Black, Michael R. Metz. This is case number 113 CV 928. And this is why I want everybody to know what happens when you go to federal court, is that there are standards set for these judges that they must avoid all impropriety and any appearance of impropriety. So lying in court orders is an impropriety. Here's what happened. Basically, this magistrate judge, Michael Metz, ruled in my favor, saying that if there was any issues of fraud upon the court by an officer of the court, which would mean like the respondent, which in my case is the Ohio Port Authority, which is the Ohio Attorney General office, one of the attorneys represented them and made material representations that they knew were false and misleading. So I put in a motion for relief because my case was dismissed. Michael Metz said that Collin versus Penholster was no bar to hold a hearing to address those concerns. And then this guy right here, Timothy S. Black, he entered an order saying he's basically not going to comply with his order with Michael R. Metz. And he said Penholster did address issues of fraud upon the court and said you're precluded. Well, there's nothing in Penholster that said anything about that. So I objected to his order, and I said basically he was lying and he disobeyed a court order. And so here's what he did to me. Decision and entry adopting report and recommendations and deeming petitioner a vexatious litigant. So they did this without holding a hearing to allow me time to object and present a defense and to subpoena records. They did not read my objections that I filed. They said that I didn't file anything. It says defendant did not file objections to the report and recommendations and the time for doing so. Yes, I did do that. So he lied right there. And then he got pissed off at me. And this is what he said. Basically, among the rash of filings and document entitled Contempt of Court, which petitioner accuses the magistrate judge conspired against him and interfere with the progress of the case, petitioner further proceeds to deny a lawful order to order a United States magistrate judge to answer petitioner's frivolous filing, to strike any order or response that doesn't approve of, to hold a federal judicial officer a contempt of court. And then they're just putting down for failing to comply. Well, no, that's failing to comply with the order of a magistrate judge. So, and they just go ahead and lie and say, well, it's my demands. No, it wasn't my demands. He's basically lying in here, okay? So here's what they did. They prohibited me from further filings and deemed me a vexatious litigant without holding a hearing so I can contest this. And then what they want to do is prohibit me from filing any documents or a new case in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Ohio on any grounds or collateral or arguments raised in the case and case number unless accompanied by calculation by an attorney admitted in this court certifying the filing or new complaint is brought in good faith. Okay, so, well, no attorney is going to go before the court and accuse a federal judge of fraud. This guy's name is Timothy S. Black. I am accusing him of lying in this order. This is why people do not need the trust in our system. It does not work. These are people, these are criminals who serve themselves, and that's all they serve. They do not serve the people. They lie in their orders, and they want me to go in front of the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals and basically argue for a hearing on this matter, or to say that a judge did not obey a court order. You know what they're going to do? They're not going to do anything. They're going to talk good about themselves and protect one another. That's how they do it. So these guys are frauds. District Court Judge Timothy S. Black, Judge Michael R. Metz. These people are frauds. I did object to everything. He is lying. Defendant did not file. Yes, I did file objections. And then they want me to appeal. So these people are criminals. They lie. They do not need to be in office. I am exposing these people, and I hope this video gets a lot of views. I filed basically a lot. I filed a motion to file under seal, another motion for relief, and a motion for default judgment. Judge Metz issued a report and recommendations to deny the motion which petitioner filed objections. So here's what he did. He did not address anything. Here's what he said. Michael Metz. Here's all he wrote. He proposed to bring this motion under for fraud on the court under B3. Hobbs purports to want to reopen the decision order on January, denying the most recent motion for relief from judgment. But the substance of his fraud claims relates to the original judgment of the case. Should not be permitted to bootstrap its way around the statute of limitations by seeking to reopen the most recent order denying motion. Well, you have a 1 year, so yes, you can. Beyond that, has a remedy by way of appeal to the Sixth Circuit for whatever reason he failed to take. And he says res judicata, which they did not decide my new motion for relief. He never addressed any of those claims. And then he says default judgment fares no well. Whether or not a federal court could enter a default judgment as sanctioned by conduct by counsel, the court has already found the claim to be without merit. Well, yes, you can. Okay, so he's lying right there. Okay, so these people are liars. He is a magistrate judge, and I am accusing him of lying. Yes, you can seek default judgment as a sanction for misconduct by counsel. So again, he lies. So once he lied, guess what the other judge does? He adopts everything. So these people are frauds. These people are frauds. I'm really upset. This case has been going on for 10 years. I have a defense to this. I have a lot of records that I want to bring into this case. And they did cite another case I did file. They dismissed it because my underlying conviction was not vacated. Here's what I said in here. This court must address petitioner's practice under. So they're basically saying there was a separate civil case and the subject high and set in 2017. The civil case was premised upon the same arguments raised in this case. It was ultimately dismissed in 2009. Failure to state a claim and denied COA, but that was because my conviction was not overturned. Okay, so in this case, they're not going to give me a hearing to defend myself. They're not going to give you any fair and full partial hearing. These people are liars, and they need to be called out about this. So here's his name. He wrote his signature. He upheld this, and everything is frivolous. I do have merit to my claim. They won't allow a hearing on my case to prove my claims, fraud upon the court by the respondent. And these claims all go back to the fact that my state court conviction, I did not have a means of direct appeal because it did not allow me to direct appeal my judgment. And I did raise this up in this federal habeas proceedings. And here's what they do. They deny you. They don't care about your constitutional rights. All right. Thanks.